signed four major tax reform bills into law, marking what the government had even described as the most significant overhaul of Nigeria's tax system in decades. We have the Nigerian Tax Act, we have the Nigerian Tax Administration Act, the Nigerian Revenue Service Establishment Act, and also we have the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Act, all operating under a single authority, that's the Nigeria Revenue Service. But of course, the intention and the purpose of this reform, it has been designed to simplify tax compliance, to expand the tax base, and also to eliminate overlapping taxes and modernize revenue collection across federal, state, and local governments. But during plenary on Wednesday, we had a lawmaker that raised a concern. Right, a PDP lawmaker from Sokoto State, Abdul Samad Dasuki, he drew attention of the House of Rep and even Nigerians to some alleged discrepancies in the tax reforms passed by the National Assembly and the copy gazetted by the federal government. He wants that, if not addressed, that the alterations, that there are possible insertions, there are possible substitutions. The Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, investigates the claims and also submit a report to the House for further legislative action. Right, and these have been also greeted with several reactions. If oppositions, even the people, they demanded that the commencement of the date of the Tax Act to be shifted from January 1, which initially was supposed to start implementation from January 1, 2026 next year, to be postponed for at least 6 months to allow a sufficient time for the customary levity that this administration has shown towards serious issues of found their way into the gazetted copy. The struggling with poverty on a sufficient time to look and investigate into these allegations on our neck. We have a lot on our sleeves. We do not a tax regime, a new one. We really do not need it. It's going to be causing more chaos. We already have enough hardship in the chairman. You cannot tax hunger, you cannot tax poverty, and you cannot tax people into prosperity. Since coming to office, the president has shown that his priorities are not with ordinary Nigerians, but with a few oligarchs tied to his economic and political interests. Right. But of course, in response to that, the federal government, insisting that the policies are definitely pro-poor and aimed at recalibrating national revenue generation. And even according to some legal practitioners, substitutions or alleged substitutions and insertions into the Gazette to the matter and into the allegation that tax reform laws passed by the National Assembly and they said the constitutional responsibility of the president is to give or withhold assent to a bill duly passed by the National Assembly. That once a bill is passed by the National Assembly, the president is required to sign it as presented, where he is disposed to give in his view as presented, that is required to return the bill and request for amendments to take care of his concerns. And where the National Assembly, after due reconsideration, agrees to amend to accommodate the spotlighted concerns, that the bill will be duly passed again and sent back for presidential assent. That's when legal practitioners had to wade in. Right, and in the context of Section 58 and 59 of the 1999 Constitution, it is unconstitutional, and of course, several practitioners had also talked about it. Some also say that this represents, if the allegation is true, that it represents the greatest mockery of Nigeria's democracy since 1999. That in a state omission, whether by addition or whether by substitution, amounts to legislative fraud and an affront to the sovereignty of the Nigerian people. And so the administration must immediately come clean with an explanation. Is a criminal perspective to this issue and the consequence that this whether anything has been substituted or omitted or added or removed or altered, and also how valid is the call to postpone some saying of the position of some quarters, school of thought, saying that we do not actually need a new law. What's your take on that? And since the government has said that this is, pro-poor, this is even supposed to lessen, this is supposed to cater for the hardship, to eradicate, maybe not eradicate, but at least to a very significant level, make it easy for every Nigerian, especially average Nigerians, then should it now be a case of them doing more to sensitize the people about this tax law? That's that about the new head or chief executives of the NUPRC and the NMDPRA. Yesterday, they had mentioned that they would implement far-reaching reforms to stabilize the country's oil and gas, right? The upstream and downstream, we would now have change in hands. So what are you expecting? What are the reforms that you're expecting to see in the oil sector? These are the issues we're focusing on this morning. The number to call is 0 messages. All right, I got a concern that I called the numbers too fast. Okay, I apologize. 09100410. Right, I would urge us to try as much as possible to summarize our.
Morning, my name is Robert.
Good morning.
Yes, I'm calling you from Apapa. So, as you said, if the lawmakers have been comfortable with it, it will return it back to the National Assembly. But altering it, as alleged by that senator, I think it's a criminal. They will send it back. If at all the allegations are true, they will send it back to the National Assembly to correct it before it is properly accepted. No, to me, it's not supposed to be like that. Okay, I know of budget padding. I know of budget padding. I don't know about bill padding. I don't know that it dependent for asset. If you go through it and there are some area which is not likely, which is not like, it will return it back to the National Assembly and point it that okay, this issue should be put in because not that you will alter it, you altered it and it is different from what it means. The
investigation. Basically,
if what that man said is true, I'm supporting the investigation. And I'm not just supporting the investigation. The necessity should be done.
All right.
It should not be swept under the carpet.
All right.
It's a criminal offense to alter a bill passed by National Assembly.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's also what the legal practitioners are saying. Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
My name is Peter Usifu. I'm calling from Abaranja in Ekotu. As for the oil industry, we want the government to make the refineries to work, the government refineries. And if possible, grant licenses to other private refineries are shining orders. So Dangote is trying with some of the Industry Act too, through the removal of oil subsidies. That is very, very good. We thank him for that. Then, as for what is happening in the National Assembly concerning Honorable Subi True, is it printing error? Or maybe the printing press made a mistake. But even before the printing press must have made a mistake, they must have been given an order or information. It's not sensationalism. Because if it is sensationalism by Tasuki, for him to hit up the polity again, he will go in for it. He will be suspended. This is not the first time such a thing is done in the National Assembly. This is not the first time such Assembly members have been suspended. So you should be very careful not to heat up the policy. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling. 0913600410 and available for you to also drop your comments and your reservations. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Hello, Sig. Hello, Mᴏᴜ. Brought our attention to irregularity within the president, within the executive, but we are making excuse already. We are judging that person to be wrong.
It's a case of.
Let us wait and see what happens, what goes wrong. Not to be warning that, not to be preempting that the person that made that accusation is wrong. It's quite bad. We Nigerians. Do some people think we are fools?
Well, don't forget that it's a case of possibility. He said if. He said
no,
if.
That shouldn't have come up. And they are looking into it. We should be in the realm of probability.
Okay.
Not for you to come on radio and be condemning already the person that has brought that up. With the law should take its course. But it is not today it has been happening. The padding of the budget will, let me put it that way to be blunt. And that's why the NLC staged a morning this thing, rally or protest. So we don't need all these tax laws. Good morning.
Thank you. Beautiful morning to you too. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Saw that alteration in the social media yesterday of government. How do you not expect the international community to be viewing us? Even if I go to any international airport now, there will be VAT that they sign. By the time we got to the gazetted place, it now became 12.5. Who did that? Is it from the presidency office or from the minister of finance office? They have to feature the person that altered that thing to sign. Because before they bring it out for him to sign, they've already agreed on that thing. So why we change? If they can change, you people should go back and fight your leaders and make your country livable. That's what he's doing. If not, it's not worth it. Good morning.
Thank you. Beautiful morning to you too. Hello.
Lady Mo, how are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you too?
I'm very okay, my dear.
Great.
My name is Prince Wise, calling you from Oshodi, the city in the center of Unified. Number one, if we got a tax law, if they remove all minors from the presidency, I did it and did get with him thoroughly. It doesn't take away anything from Nigeria. If a mistake happens, we have to tell you that for the poor, what are we talking about? So we should live with the one in this country to develop the country. What are we talking about? So say they don't want. We should what? When you start the rich people, they may be behind all this that is going on now. Because they say it is so for the war, say it will be telling the EFCC to investigate anybody that's going to spend the money to develop the country infrastructure wise.
Right.
There should be there with.
All right.
Just a second. We need to enforce our
Beautiful morning to you too. Thank you very much for calling. 09136000410. That's still the number to call. For WhatsApp calls and messages, 09136000430. That's for WhatsApp calls and messages. Hello, good morning.
Hello, lady. Good morning. Of the budget party. Or yes, maybe it starts from law. This has been happening in this nation. That nothing is happening after they expose maybe you party. If you know, someone utter. At the end of the day, you don't know the person that utter it. Among them, they just utter it. You don't know anything. And at the same time, or this issue of Fᴜʟᴏ, that Oshomole is very
Stations in the oil and gas. What reform are you expecting? Let's leave.
What I'm expecting there, they should sanitize everything.
Okay.
So that what happens to Fᴜʟᴏ will not happen to the next one that is coming on board.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Mrs.
Good morning.
Thank you very much. My name is Malam Bello. I am calling you from Sabongeri-Kano.
Thank you.
Thank you. You can see under APC now, all Nigerians can see what is happening under APC now. If you remember, the movement Jᴏɪṛ accused Dogara of budget padding under APC. Then after that, Abdul Ningi also accused Akpabio of budget padding. Now another, we have come to an era of tax. Then somebody also did the same thing to extort from Nigerian, that at the end of the day, the tax reform will not be able to. And by the grace of God, Nigeria should be wise enough, because I personally call Ahmed Bola Tinubu, the president currently, the leader, the Asiwaju of Africa, when God, inshallah, time will tell, Nigerian will open Nigeria will decide who will become their leader 2027 and who is not going to be their leader 2027. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you for calling. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. We expecting, I was like, this thing has become a norm under APC members. But it has gotten to the point whereby, for the very moment you become a member of APC, nobody will try, especially if you're in support of the PDP. We never heard of budget padding. All this budget padding started when APC took over. And up till now, we have accommodated it because we have a couple of this padding and the uttering things. And it has become a norm. It has become our practice. And what has known us to be jokers. There is no two ways about it. They have known Nigeria as very unserious people, that we are just, that is how the outside world are looking Nigerian people. I'm not talking about the political class. We Nigerians that are holding our arm and allow things like this to continue.
Oh my. Please do also call back 0913600. Good morning.
Give some Bariga.
Thank you.
Give some Bariga.
Thank you for calling, Gift.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes in October, a pardon list was released to the public containing one.
Hello? Oh my. Okay. Because we have limited time, I would urge you to either send a message.
How are you this morning?
Amen. God bless
This
you.
is Barrister Peter Oku. I'm calling of taxation. Yes, it's all well and good because most economists, most progressive economies of the world depend on taxation. That's the only way they need the roads, infrastructure, water, medical facility. Everything is based on tax. So the formation of the tax system and for it. But what is surprising to me is that in recent times, our president, Mr. Tinubu, is British. Suddenly he travels every time on working visit to France and all that.
Okay.
And other Western countries are moving away from France. Are all under military government. It's only the Republic that is under France. So this new friendship with the French people.
We are talking about the relationship with other countries, new months from the new hands, and also from the tax reform. There are allegations by the federal government, right? And so we're asking for the call for investigation. Do you support the call for investigation, and also the call for postponement for 6 months, for at least 6 months, to be able to have sufficient time to investigate the anomaly in this allegation, right? And also some quarters are saying that we, as at now, what's your take on that, right? And also the federal government is saying, well, this even initiative is even to ease the tension, to ease the hardship in the land. And so do you also, or should it be a case of sensitizing the people more about this new law? These are what we're discussing this morning. We appreciate that we stick to that, so we were able to have a very constructive conversation. Shown that the president is hell-bent in doing things in his own way, as against what majority of Nigeria wants. Its implementation should be suspended for now. Mr. Tʀᴇɪr should come out to debunk it or face criminal charges, period. Francis Ekwenyong says, good morning, Lady Mo, stage forward, and Melanie FM crew. Padded, now bills and laws are also altered, the same way election results Sudan, and if all the borrowing, crude oil, yes, Lady Mo, and forward. No need to tax collecting before this time is useful. We want to see good road, good hospitals for worry. The person that does it should be fetched out to face the law. No need of committee upon committee that will not yield the results. Benjamin from Shogole. Thank you. From Facebook. From WhatsApp, this says, I want to hammer it to major oppositions. Okay. I want to hammer it to major opposition candidates with their parties. If electoral reform didn't happen, I would never bother myself to go on to cast. Okay. Thank you. Away from that, this says, an altered gazetted revenue tax act is tantamount to a decree, and the alteration is an impeachable offense, but impeachments won't happen. Shegun from day one, budget pardon appointments for dead people, pardoning very questionable characters, including drugs barons and murderers, bandits, and now allegations of gazetting a tax law different from what was not passed by the National Assembly, and promotion and withdrawal of the promotion of the from Janiki. This says, carried it from Mikotsun. Good morning, Lady Mo. Frankly speaking, the whole thing about the bill alteration is quite ambiguous and should be treated with equanimity such that the person alleging and the source of alteration must be located and the needful applied. This is book already. Thank you. This says, good morning, Madam Odupe. The primary function of any government is to protect the lives and properties of the citizens and not to impose taxes on them using any disguised methods. It's the citizens' obligations to pay taxes and obey the laws of the country. All these gimmicks to introduce more burdens on Nigerians where there is no corresponding good standards of living is a mirage. Let Nigerians wake up and resist harsh economic policies and undue taxation. Noah from Igondo. This says, morning, mainland. Please don't preach doom. Tinubu might be the first and last former president. Okay. Engineer Boni from Alimosha, thank you. First and foremost, I am happy that such a terrible mistake of alleged alterations on the tax reform bill was discovered by a member of the opposition party. If not, the tax reform bill would have been passed to the president to put his ass in. It's now glaring that we cannot afford to allow one-party system in the country because it will not create room for check and balance. There is no doubt that the present administration has nothing to offer than to just continue to tax the citizens with to continue to call for cancellation of the reform bill until we see improvements that would warrant the need for the reform. Finally, on the oil sector, I want the world to build at least one new refinery so that we can have a competitive market in this industry and not a situation where Dangote will dominate the market. God bless Nigeria. If it were true that the tax was altered, all the people that conspired to alter it should be prosecuted publicly, irrespective of their positions or how highly placed they are. If it requires impeaching the president, it should be done without fear or fears. Bad followers will never produce good leaders. This says, good morning, Milan FM radio crew. There is nothing pro-poor in this proposed tax law, but another means of milking the already impoverished Nigerians to worsen the matter. We are now hearing another rumor that there is criminal alterations on the same obnoxious tax law. I suggest that the proposed tax law be suspended with immediate effect. Hence it will while the economy keep diving deeper into state of helplessness. From Ikeja, thank you, Madam Ife. Okay. Oh yes, because I remembered people asking about him as well too. Thank you. Lady Mo, I greet you fundamentally. Welcome back. I didn't know you were on. Okay, yes, I was. Of course, in extension or by extension to every lover of Milan 98.3 FM. This says, hello, Milan FM. God bless you all. Amen. Mamujio, welcome back to the studio. Thank you. We can afford to miss you more. God bless you. God bless you too. Thank you very much. What I expect as new reform on oil and gas sector is new functionable refineries. If there is political will from the table of president, is possible, I believe. For the tax reform, if we have budget pardon, what is the tax reform that they cannot alter it? This is crime of the highest order. No matter the level of the investigation, nobody will be brought to book. They will hear anything about budget pardon. God bless Nigeria, my country. Christopher F. Young. Thank you very much. Let's just take 1, 2, 3 calls and then we call it a morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
I'm calling from K2.
Your name again? Sorry,
it's criminal enterprise instead of democracy. Am I right?
That's.
I have you saying that.
Yes, the legal practitioner saying that.
Okay. If this is outside, okay, look at it from this angle. Government who and government who engage state of emergency in River State that belong to APDP, but you mentioned who engage. Look at those that are priding themselves as APC members.
Okay, so
that having cases hanging on their neck, and it is established that it has been tampered with. Nothing will happen with Senate President, current President sitting as number 3 in Nigeria. Nothing will happen. We continue to languishing under this Tinubu government. God bless.
On the matter of your sector, I think the welcome development. Because you are president, you think corrupting president. The man is not corrupt. And oil sector in Nigeria is better for oil. And for the tax, I want to Nigeria not pay tax. If you have money, you pay, and you must pay. And for the education, the rest of Nigeria. And let me tell you, you must be a member of a separate organization. Like I could tell you. How you find it? What to be this tax? What to be this tax? And it's not more put in next or not. And let's put up other attention. Nigeria is better. Whether you like it or not. And Nigeria is better.
All right. Well, I could hardly hear you. Tʀᴇ from Maryland. The new tax regime is an ill wind that blows no one any good. With the new tax, Nigeria has taken 10 steps backwards. It's unfortunate. The new hems or ants in the upstream and downstream is simply a new wine in an old bottle. There will be no difference. We have to break this reform down, right? Two wrongs can make a right. Let's on the perspective to this issue, right? To see if truly, as the federal government has said, that this should lessen and not worsen today. We'll break this taxation. Says the several angles to it, the several clauses and everything to that particular bill, so we can better understand this issue and not really have it's too much. I mean, the reactions are and the understanding are quite overwhelming, right? Irene Mᴏᴜ Akinyosoye, let's not cease to be a patriotic citizen of this great country, always nurturing our conscience just by the... That's the thing. We need to know what it is. We need to know what has been uttered, right? So we need to talk about it. Thank you very much, regardless of your message. I mean, really appreciate your messages and contributions. Good morning.